Listen to this. Every year, India imports 4.6 million ton waste paper from the Europe and US. This costs rupees 3,750 crores. And this, the annual consumption of paper in the country is 8.5 million ton and only 1.4 million ton is recycled. Almost 7 million tons of waste paper, which is almost 1.5 times of what is imported, finds its way into dump sites and is permanently lost. ITC, a corporate giant, decided to address this issue by starting the Well-Being Out of Waste initiative, currently running in many cities across the country. This tutorial will explain how it has successfully enabled households to segregate waste in the city of Warangal.
स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने देश से अपने ये वादा कर लिया हमने स्वच्छ भारत का.
Now, to put it very simply, the objective of any kind of waste segregation is ultimately it should be 100% waste disposal. And 100% waste disposal means either the non-biodegradable, the non-recyclable waste and non-organic waste has to be dumped, and the other, whichever is organic waste, whichever is biodegradable and recyclable, has to be treated accordingly.
The Greater Warangal Municipal Corporation is one of the oldest municipalities in the state of Telangana. With the glorious past of the Kakatiya Empire, the city is known for its rich culture and heritage. The city has a population of about 8.3 lakhs. The city till the year 2015 collected waste in an unsegregated manner, but it took up the challenge of collecting segregated waste in 2015.
During my tenure as the Municipal Commissioner of Greater Warangal Municipal Corporation, we entered into a memorandum of understanding with the ITC to take up something called a WOW program within the limits of the Greater Warangal Municipal Corporation. Now, the idea is that in processing and disposal of solid waste, segregation is one of the key aspects which will either make or mar an initiative. Subsequently, however, we wanted to rope in ITC through their CSR initiative to take it up in a more sustained basis. So the initiative basically was that every household generates garbage. The garbage at each household level shall be separated into wet and dry parts. The wet parts will be collected separately, the dry parts will be collected separately by our cycle rickshaws and push carts which were already in operation. These push cart, the workers, so every push cart generally has two workers. So what we said was, one fundamental thing that we said, that whichever push cart person collects the waste, the dry waste. So as per the act, the waste belongs to the corporation. What we said ki the waste belongs to the corporation, but we are giving the worker, the sanitation worker, the right to sell it and earn profit out of it. So therein we built in an element where the person at the lowest rung started getting some kind of an economic benefit from it. So that was the idea that was also one of the things that we did to make it sustainable.
To enable waste segregation from households and set up a value chain for its processing, ITC signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Municipal Corporation and the authorized NGOs. This flagship initiative, which was in line with the Swachh Bharat mission, was launched in 7 cities in Telangana state, including Warangal.
Yeah. We in ITC, the Paperboards division, started this WOW program about 9 years back. We were making a lot of paperboards using waste paper, and we realized that there was a shortage of waste paper in the country, and there were a lot of imports happening from abroad. In the process, we were losing foreign exchange, and availability was a problem. And then this idea came that there are so much of waste paper available in the houses and offices which are getting dumped into the waste yards, leading to soil pollution and added to the cost to the society. And then we all sat together and said, what can we do to get most waste paper, and in the process help the country, the society. And then this idea came, why didn't we start educating the corporates, the households, to start segregating at source the waste paper and the various other waste item which is generated in the house.
ITC did three things in Warangal. Set up a propagation team and an operations team to train municipal workers and citizens. Set up dry resource collection centers or DRCC for sorting and packaging of waste for recycling. Provided the required infrastructure to receive, weigh, handle, sort and store dry recyclable waste at DRCC. ITC roped in community resource persons of existing self-help groups. These resource persons, known as Swachh Doots, were trained to communicate with the households through interactive methods, role plays, and group discussions. ITC pays them a monthly fee. Each team of 2 community resource persons are assigned one ward of the city with 800 to 1000 households. This team reaches out to about 40 to 50 households per day. They demonstrate and explain households about the impact of source segregation and its benefits.
Earlier, we were not even aware about segregation. The Swachh Doots came to us and explained to us about it. Now on, we will make sure that we segregate waste properly.
People from ITC WOW and officers from the municipal corporation came to us and told us about what exactly wet and dry waste is and how it can be segregated. It is because of the awareness programs which they conduct that people like us are becoming more aware.
After the interactions, bags are given to each household to store dry recyclables. Stickers are pasted on every household that is enrolled in the segregation process. The Swachh Doots also regularly follow up with the households to ensure that the households practice source segregation. The corporation also helps to ensure strict compliance and imposes penalty on non-abiding households. The waste collectors of the corporation collect dry recyclable waste separately from households once in a week using tricycles or tractors. The dry recyclables are transported by the corporation into the Dry Resource Collection Centers or DRCCs. These DRCCs are located on space allocated by the municipal corporation on rent or lease to the ITC. Each DRCC is typically a space of 46.5 square meters. And here, dry recyclables are further sorted into separate fractions and packaged.
Similarly, what we also tried to do was we said that for the worker every day he works from, let us say 5-6 in the morning to around 11 or 12 o'clock in the around noon time, and then he goes back home. Now he goes for lunch and all. So what we said was that the DRCC should be so located that the worker does not need to travel separately to come to the DRCC. So the route which you are following, the worker when he normally comes to his area, the DRCC should be so located that it is on his route, number one. So which meant that you locate most of the DRCC on main roads, major roads, because everybody would take a main road to come to some place. Second was that we also started the process wherein there was a practice of parking rickshaws at certain places. We said that the DRCC will become a nodal point for all worker related activity. So be it parking of their rickshaws, be it giving their attendance. So those kind of things can also be started at the DRCC. So those things we started so as to ensure that a worker, when he comes from home, he comes directly to the DRCC. He takes his rickshaw, goes for the collection, collects the whole thing, comes back to the DRCC, parks the rickshaw, sells off the dry waste, goes back home. So that is the model we were trying to propagate.
To provide improved livelihood opportunities to women in the city, ITC engaged with self-help groups where they trained individual women or women groups who wanted to manage and operate DRCC activities. These women are now entrepreneurs and are earning higher wages than before.
Earlier, I was struggling a lot as I was just a homemaker. I was disturbed because I was financially dependent on others for money. Now that I have joined as the DRCC operator, I'm proud that I'm contributing my bit to save the environment. Most importantly, I'm able to financially support my family. A portion of my salary also goes as donation to old age homes. I am very happy.
మాకు ఇంతకుముందుకు ఇక్కడ మేము తడి చెత్త పొడి చెత్త
Earlier, we were not aware about what dry and wet waste was or what segregation of waste meant. We did not even earn significantly well from selling this waste. Because of DRCC, we get a better monetary return by selling waste. We use this money to maintain our tricycles, educating our children. DRCC is a boon to us.
ఇది ఇలాగనే కొనసాగాలని మేము కోరుకుంటున్నాం.
Again, in that 50%, almost about 20% are like multi-layer laminates. Multi-layer laminates like this, if you see, they are used for packing of biscuits, chocolates and chips. So nowadays this kind of packaging is used in every food product, but because of the shelf life. So if you see this kind of material, this is one side is metal aluminum coating and another side is plastic coating. These both are bonded together and they are used for packing. Unless we remove this both, we remove the bonding plastic and metal, we can't recycle it. So that we can't do it and we cannot recycle it. So there is no value for this kind of covers. So these our waste collectors or rack pickers, they don't pick up this material because it has no value. Under WOW, what we are telling our waste collectors or rack pickers to collect even this kind of material from households and bring it to our dry resource center, so that we pay about 2 rupees per kg for this kind of material and we can make it send it to a safe disposal. Suppose like we are sending to cement factories who have geocycle systems, they burn under certain degrees so that the carbohydrates will not emit, and under the eco-friendly manner they burn it and generate energy out of it.
I have been working since the last 1 year. Earlier we were struggling to make ends meet, but now we are very happy. I am able to provide good education to my children. We get paid every week and are leading a happy, healthy life.
So there is humongous benefits over segregation. So I appeal to every household, every citizen of India to segregate the waste into wet and dry. Join hands with WOW and WOW movement and achieve real Swachh Bharat. Let's make India clean and green, Swachh and green. Thank you. Jai Swachh Bharat, Jai Hind.
To keep our towns, cities or state, country, every stakeholder and authority, including the elected representatives, everybody should feel their responsibility and render their activities in a true spirit to reach this goal of Swachh Bharat.
In addition to engaging with households, ITC is working with schools and corporates in many southern cities. ITC's initiative has spread in Coimbatore, Chennai, Bengaluru, 400 municipal wards of Hyderabad, and several towns of Telangana.
Hence, I request all of y'all that a simple step that we do, which was something which we have been practicing as a nation much before we became cities. If a simple thing such as just segregating your wet and dry, it is not rocket science, it's a very simple thing, segregation. Only if you do segregation, you will not realize, but future generations to come, your own children, our own generations will really, this is the biggest gift that we can give to anybody.
There is a gradual but a definite change in the way the people of Warangal are segregating waste. They are truly building a stronger and healthier tomorrow. Remember, every ton of waste paper recycled saves 22 trees.
Swachh Bharat program is done by Narendra Modi to keep our world clean. We are cleaning our surroundings and homes, keeping clean and neat.
स्वच्छ भारत का